we are bringing you another action-packed, good, bad movie review. And Alan was looking to rebound from his latest Carrot Top flick, and I think he did in a major way. Alan, take it away with your good, bad
Shit,
movie
yeah,
review.
rebound is right, guys. That was literal torture that I put myself through last time watching a Carrot Top film.
Yeah, and that was a bad movie. There was no good in that at
Yeah, there
all.
was no redeeming qualities to it at all. Uh, it's got famously made fun of by Norm Macdonald on a late night talk show. Like, it was bad. So we move on. I think we've upgraded. I think you guys agree that we've upgraded. And my next good bad movie this evening I'll be discussing is called The Adventures of Power. That's right, The Adventures of Power is Power singular because that is the name of the main character. This gentleman named Power. Here, I'll read you IMDb's snippet, and then we'll kind of dive into it. Did you guys watch it by chance?
I watched the shit out of it, and I enjoyed
Yeah,
every fucking second of it.
Thank God. I
I
love
watched it. I watched it as well. Yeah,
it. Nice. Did you enjoy it?
I did, and I have a couple there's I have a couple things to say about it.
Okay. So, Adventures of Power storyline. This is a very concise uh synopsis. So, Adventures of Power is an epic comedy about a mine worker, copper mine in New Mexico, should I add, named Power, whose love of drums and lack of musical skill has turned him into the ridiculed air drummer of his small town. But when Power's union leader father calls for a strike at the mine, Power discovers an underground subculture of air drummers who just might hold the key to changing the world. Power's journey across America brings him face to face with his town's greatest enemy and allows him to discover the beat within his own heart. And I think that's pretty well said. So, in short, this movie is a little bit Napoleon Dynamite, a little bit Spinal Tap. I think is a good way to kind of bring it in for everybody. But Power, a young man who has aspirations of drumming, but he can't because his father can't afford drums. He takes to air drumming, but then gets ridiculed by the town and his co-workers at the copper mine for air drumming because it's childish and trivial. So Power stumbles across after a series of mishaps and getting let go from the copper mine. Power makes his way to Mexico after finding an advertisement for an underground air drumming competition. He goes to said air drumming competition and fails miserably trying to play Tom Sawyer by Rush. That'll be a critical drum piece to this film. At which point he meets a ragtag band of air drummers based out in New Jersey, led by a man named Carlos, who Power then goes to train with before moving on to the national air drumming competitions. And then, yeah, lots of love, loss, and just adventure in this plucky coming of age film.
Or your follow up on that synopsis.
Well, I have to say that I actually laugh cried at one point when Power gets on the boat to go across the from New Jersey to New York.
I think it's the Hudson. Yes,
And because it's a story of inspiration. It's a story of somebody who won't quit no matter how dumb it is and no matter how big the odds are. Inspiration can be found in the dumbest fucking thing in the world, such as air drumming. And it's just, he's an indelible character who you can't help but like. And in the stupidest way possible, it made me really think about my own life.
It does, kind of, right? It's so weird. Wes, thoughts?
Okay, so I was equating this to a Happy Gilmore meets Pitch Perfect. Okay, in the Pitch Perfect way, you're swept into this world of fake music, and then in Pitch Perfect sense, that's what it's a cappella competitions,
Oh
and
boy, the acapellas are gonna come after us, man. Fuck.
then fine, yeah.
It's
But
Vodka assaulted.
I first of all, like the cast is pretty. Anything Michael McKean, I'm kind of like, okay, this is gonna be funny.
Yes, Jane Lynch.
Yeah, that's correct. Adrian Grainer from
From
Entourage.
Entourage.
Yep, there you
But
go.
okay, so when Carlos is giving Ari Gold, or not Ari Gold, Power the rundown. At this point, I already know it's a movie that's intended to be dumb. I already know that's a movie intended to like be satire and satirical by its nature. And then when he's explaining, like he's watching Adrian Griner's whatever character Dallas actually played drums. He's like, anyone can play drums. It bounces back. It takes the muscle memory and the muscle coordination for you to hit air and bring it back. And I was like, yeah, it does. Wait a minute, what am I thinking? I'm being convinced by this guy that this is a fucking skill.
I think you touched on that. So Adrian Grenier is Power's like enemy in this film, and they come from two different worlds, right? So Power, poor, can't afford drums, loves drumming, air drums as a substitute. Adrian Grenier, very rich, comes from like oil family. What is very talented at actual drums, but his oil magnate father thinks that actual drums are a waste of time and that air drumming is where he needs to focus his time. And it's absolutely preposterous, but also frames it in such a way that
Right.
really makes it aspirational.
I also think Nick Kroll as the MC during the competition kind of steals the show.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I also could. It's like for the grand prize of $2,000, and then he gets attacked because what? The bandmate does air tambourine or something or other,
No,
and
it's
it's
like bongos.
Or yeah, air bongos.
bongos, which is an air drumming by the mate.
Yes. Yeah. So at the end, there's a major competition, right? And they meet. One of the Carlos Jim's air drummers gets disqualified because air bongoing is not air drumming.
Well, let's not give away the whole movie.
Oh, sorry.
We want
Sorry.
people to
Yeah.
we want people to witness the adventures of Power.
Yeah. We should really see the end. And that really is the catalyst at the end of the movie. Thank you, Mur, for what I would call the emerging from the cocoon of Power,
Sure. And
of the character of Power.
there's also redemption. The girlfriend's mother, and not liking the relationship that's happening.
The deaf girlfriend who can feel the vibration.
Yes,
Mhm.
she can
Yeah,
even.
she can-
Well, it's critical to know that she's deaf because of live music.
Yes,
Yeah,
and she can feel the vibration not just of any music, but of Power's air drumming ability, a musical ability that creates no percussion. She can feel and see the music.
Mhm.
And when
That's true.
but the point is that Power's inability to give up causes an entire town to have the inability to give up on their strike against the Coppermind. And because of this, he saves an entire town and accomplishes his life's mission of proving that air drumming is not a monumental waste of fucking time and talent.
That's true. There's some union busting in here, so there's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, that's right. Right. It's a feel good story. 30. Let's see here. 32% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yes,
32%,
this
yeah.
does qualify as a good bad movie. 39% on the was it the
The audience
Metas-
scale.
Yeah. So hey man, whatever. Yeah, no,
5.9 from IMDb.
yeah.
Yeah, I think this is firmly in good bad movie range. If you like heartfelt comedies, this is right up your alley. Don't take it too serious.
If you like Christopher Guest movies, this is a great
Yes.
substitute.
Absolutely.
Correct.